The Frontiers of Flight Museum is one of the coolest aviation venues in the United States. From various exhibits, to an epic model aircraft collection, to the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737's, this museum has it all, and I'm excited to bring you along for the journey as we check it out. So let's go ahead and get into this, everybody. Welcome everybody to the Frontiers of Flight Museum in Dallas, Texas. This is an epic museum that I'm excited to check out, and I hope you all are as well. The Frontiers of Flight Museum is situated on the northeast side of the Dallas Love Field International Airport. I've just arrived at the museum on this April afternoon, and I'm stoked to check it out and learn about Dallas area aviation history. So let's go ahead and get inside, everybody.
No, it was always in the Canyon Blue, I believe. Could be wrong. I think it was always in the Canyon Blue, though. What a plane. Look at this. There's the sun. Several ones. You predominantly do Southwest. Illinois one. California, I have California. I moved like Nevada, all these air trains. The air trains really belong to the coast. Yes. Alright.
Alrighty everybody, so welcome to the Frontiers Museum of Flight. So I really hope all of you are excited for this, and without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started. I got some really substantial footage from this, so this will be a little bit lighter with regards to the commentary aspect of this video since the videos are already so long, but of course I'll chop up the clips a little bit to make it all balanced out. So this will be a longer offering, but this museum's huge, and that's really what it was like. I think I was in there for like 2 hours or so. It was a really large museum, so there is a bunch to cover. So overall, it'll be very justified. So let's go ahead and get started. Outside of the front, you'll see this Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-300 registered November 300 Sierra Kilo, which is the Spirit of the Kitty Hawk. So it's really cool that they preserved this and put it on the outside and the inside. So I thought that was really cool. So absolutely love the 300. The Canyon Blue livery is so great. So really awesome to get to see this preserved here in really good shape right now. So it's really cool to see how they have that parked, and I think it's really cool. So we'll see the inside of it here in just a little bit. So overall, really excited for that. And then we have this beautiful F-16 right here that looks really good. This is from the Fort Worth command, I believe. So that's really cool to see with that really cool digital livery. So that looked really nice right there. followed by this really cool Learjet. I'm not sure if it's a 31 or which one it is, but this is another very cool aircraft. Sure, it relates to Dallas in some way. I think there was a sign on the other side, but with how large this museum was, I wasn't able to knock out all the signs and all that, but got to see all the aircraft, of course, which is the primary objective. So this was really cool to get to assess right there. And then we have this really cool, I think this is F5, I'm not sure, signs right here, so I can't see it unfortunately, but this aircraft looks just as cool as well, and overall it looks really great. So very glad to get to see that right there, and overall this aircraft looks really good right here. Then we have the the entrance here for the Frontiers of Flight Museum, which is fantastic. So again, sorry, I think I've said Frontiers Museum of Flight instead of Frontiers of Flight Museum. I get it backwards all the time, but you all know what I'm talking about. So overall, really cool. And then here's the Boeing 737-200 nose, which is on the inside that you all saw. So that's really great to see right there with the signage right here with some really good writing, some really cool characteristics in the history. So that's awesome to see right here. And again, very glad they preserved it. So that's really cool. And then of course, Kitty Hawk, like we were talking about with 737-300. So some really great pictures of that when they were pulling it into the museum. And you can see the characteristics and how important Kitty Hawk was, the first 300 in the fleet. It's really awesome to see them preserve it. And the 300 was a critical asset for Southwest Airlines. So really awesome to get to recognize this. And of course, making its last flight in 2017, which is really cool. So overall, really awesome to see that right there. For the 737-300, by the way, not Kitty Hawk, of course. Here's a nice variety of Southwest Airlines models here that they have on display. Very similar concept to the Delta Flight Museum. So you can see here a bunch of Southwest history aircraft. Sorry about that, everybody. That's what happens when your mom calls you. But anyways, as you can see right here, we have quite a nice variety of Southwest Airlines and AirTran aircraft, which is really cool that they got this all added in. So some really rare ones too. So you can see here, it's really not really categorized in any way. It's all kind of random. So you see like Maryland ones next to the silver one right here, and then the old Triple Crown one here. This lineup's a little bit better, but then you see like we go from DC-9 to AirTran 737. So don't get me wrong, it looks really good. So just wanted to assess it that way, but we got a nice variety of aircraft as you saw in the video. Overall, really cool to get to see how much depth is to this, and they have plenty of room to expand too. So I think this looks really cool with the hangar here too. Maybe at some point they get a layover layout. I think that would look quite nice to go with these aircraft, but certainly very cool to see this model aircraft exhibit. I'm certainly one of my favorite parts of the museum, hands down. So Frontiers of or I'm probably saying it wrong again, Frontiers of Flight Museum, I think. Hopefully I said that right. Great job on this effort right here. It's really cool. Then we have this beautiful Southwest Airlines massive podium, or a gate stand, or whatever the proper terminology is. It's funny because this can actually be found in the airport still. Oklahoma City still has some like this with the old logo and all that. So that's really cool to see. And they even have the monitors accurate. So that's really cool to see. And I thought this was really nice and nostalgic. So it looks really good. And overall, it's really cool to see that they still have these around and that they preserved them too. So that's really cool. Maybe some of them are in the desert. May have to try to get one for the room sometime. Kidding, of course. And we have another really cool graph here. Southwest Airlines on May 2nd, 2011, AirTran joined Southwest. So you can see the history here with the Southwest side. And of course, Musair transitioning to Transtar, and then Morris Air all came together. Then you have AirTran over here with Value Jet and Conquest Sun all coming together. So this is a really cool illustration of that. Here's the Southwest 737-300. Here's over here. That's I feel like I recognize that, but at the same time I don't. But anyways, this looks really good on this 300. It's better lit on this side, so why don't we throw it over to this picture? Looks really cool, and they also have the really cool small exhibits right here. I mean, it's just so cool to see how Southwest preserved the history, even though their computers are still a little outdated and can't do red eyes and whatnot, but it's still really cool to see this. So that's quite nice right there. Then you can see right here we have the gate kiosk, which are really cool, and it's really cool to see those preserved. So these were the original ones. Same type of no, it's not graphite. What are these? Marble tops. So that's really nice to see. And there's the nose right there, as you can see, which is what we're going into next to the 737-200. So you can see the various components of it there in the cockpit, which looks really cool. I think these classic 737s have really cool cockpits, so it's certainly nice to get to see this one. 737 design has always stayed the same fundamentally, but particularly has always changed some, so that's quite nice. So let's get into our next video clip, and then we'll take a look at our next round of pictures.
Jed would be very pleased. Look at that flight ticket. Flight basics, getting some training here.
Alrighty, y'all, let's take a look at another round of photos. So here's a bad picture of the nose, a Spirit of the Kitty Hawk. So glad they at least get to capture it on a photo, but nevertheless can certainly do a better clarity job next time. And then here's the 200 nose, much better shot here of the Herbert B. Keller. So those look really cool. And really glad to see these classic 737s preserved. They are really cool. So very nice. And hope to return to the museum here at some point because there's so much to see. Here's a really cool Southwest Airlines Heart of Our History recognition here for gold, silver, and bronze. So there's really important aspects to that to recognize here with their partners here at the museum. So that's really cool. And then you can see the 737-300 once again, which is quite nice on that advertisement there. And then as you can see right here, we have the inside boarding here. So it's really cool how they split it down the piece right here. I think it's really cool. Also, the love sticker right here is also absolutely fantastic. So that's really cool to see. And then you got the sticker once again, which is really cool. So very glad to see them get that on there. They even have this really cool hot rod, the pilot's bike inside the aircraft, which is quite unique. Certainly wouldn't have expected that, but hey, it does the job. In a beautiful wing view back here from what would be like seat 16 or 17-ish. So that's really cool to see as well. And then the cockpit with the lights on too. So again, very similar to the 737-200, but it's really cool. Also note how the FNC is only on this side and they only have one compared to right here. So that's really cool to note. So overall, really cool cockpit with so many various bells and whistles, and it looks really cool. So next up, we have this SR-71, which you can see when you're walking off. So that's really cool. We love the SR-71. So really cool to get to assess that one right there. And we also have this really cool cockpit of this military aircraft. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it does look really nice and have some really nice components to that one as well. Followed by that actually might have been the SR-71, I'm not sure, but here's 5 fun facts about it, which are really cool, very important. And of course, this video would be 3 hours long if I went into every single detail on it, so you can read to take a look at it there, but overall really cool. And then you can see also the cockpit here for it as well, which looks absolutely awesome. So really cool to assess that. So time for the next video, time for the next pictures.
Ooh. Fully preserved. Love it. Looks really good though. Commentary, yes. Am I allowed to be in here? That's the goal. An Airlines 757 MD-80 DC-10. Look at all these. Oh my gosh! Stop, Vance. Oh my. I need to get out of here right now. Oh my gosh. Look at this. This is pristine. Yes. And a gorilla. Yeah, that should be right. There it is. Wow. Would pay over $1,000 for this cat. Easily. Not even close. This is a heck of a cabinet. Arrows for Braniff International with more big oranges. Coming right at you. Unacceptable. Look at this corner. But there's so much going on here. Oh, you're not gonna let us sit on these, but you're gonna let us sit on the Southwest? Oh my goodness. Talk about the conditions. $2,000. 65. Blue. That's when it shut down. That's the famous 727 picture of that model at 2W. Bunch of 727s parked at the gate. There you go. Feel free to request. Read any of these. We're just going to the time schedule and read all these. Unfortunately, goodness. Have you seen all these? Look at this. Is it ever going to end? This is, you got to spend the whole day here to read it. Oh, there's not stairs around there. Do you want to get this real quick? Walk over. I don't think it's all military. This Braniff right here. Oh, this is sweet.
Alrighty, everybody, let's get into our next round of photographs. So here's a really cool mock-up plane here. So quite unique with that slip and slide, or not, that's completely wrong phrasing, but the slide there. So that's quite cool. And then you can see this hallway. Sorry that the photo was a little blurry, but the point here was to illustrate all these various writings and posters that are on the wall, so very important to get to take a look at those. So that's really cool. Beautiful Blue Angel number 4 right here. This is probably one of the best shots of the museum. Really cool to get to capture this, and overall I think it looks really cool. So beautiful F-18 Hornet, looks really cool, has the name on the nose there too. So I was really happy with that capture, and that one turned out really good right there. Here's a nice 0.5 shot. They still have so much room in the middle to expand, which is just crazy considering how big this facility already is. But as you can tell, they've done a really good job here on the walls, getting some really cool exhibits, and then you can see aircraft hanging in the ceiling along with the major aircraft hanging in the ceiling. So that's really cool. I guess models to real aircraft, so that's really awesome to assess right there. A beautiful YS35, I think is what this is. This one looks really good, so that's certainly very cool to assess for TACA. So a very unique livery and scheme right there. And then we have the innovations section here with some various dreams and whatnot. So that was really cool. Here on the top, then we get into precision. You can see here's a really cool aircraft right here as well. So that one looks very nice there on the top. And we have that sort of tri-motor aircraft. I'm not exactly sure, but it has some really cool pieces to that with the skis. So that's quite nice. And then we have a fuzzy shot here of this aircraft. So that one looks good right there of the Model 5. So that's a great looking model right there. A little bit better here on this Model 5 with the red. So that's certainly nice. And the descriptions are really nice too. Just hard to read them all when you want to capture the whole museum. Speaking of the whole museum, here's a really nice shot of it with so many cool aircraft over here with these two militaries. Got like a F5 hanging on the ceiling right there. And this piece of art, I'm not sure exactly what that is, but that looks really cool. Where's Gemini Jets 1975 for this big orange Braniff International Boeing 747 with the white tail in it. This was quite cool to get to see. So that's really nice. It's a really cool model, and certainly I think it's a 100 perhaps. I'm not exactly sure, but very cool. I'm used to seeing that with the orange tail, so seeing it with the white tail is a little thrown off for me, and the engines too, of course. But this aircraft certainly looks really nice and worth highlighting right there. This is another really cool exhibit here. You got a smaller Braniff 747, a couple other aircraft, along with the flight attendants and crews uniforms at the time, which are quite cool to assess. So these look really cool, and it's definitely really nice to get to see those right there. Here's a really cool shot of the museum. So you can see over here on the left side from our vantage point, you can see how full that's already getting. And then at some point, I'm sure they're going to add more exhibits into the middle and the right side. So that'll be awesome. Here's the Virgin Spaceship One. Excuse me, I apologize. It's just so cool, the various exhibits that they have in here. It's really diverse, and they certainly do a really good job with that, so it's really cool. Really cool Braniff International section here, so you can see the 707 they have up there, along with the Latin America poster and all the various other exhibits that they have, even some seats there. So it's just so cool to get to see all this in conjunction, obviously, with this piece as well for the trade table, so that's really cool. 727 down here with more uniforms looking really nice. And then they even have the Braniff Concorde with the orange tail and the white bodies. So that's really cool to see. I love all the various Braniff that they have up there at the second level, and it's really cool to see them exhibit this because it's a really important part of Dallas airline history. So that's really cool. There's the blue one, speaking of which. This one also looks really good with some really cool posters and overall just really great information. That's probably one of the coolest posters I've ever seen. I would love to have that hanging in my room at some point. 1982, it's just crazy even still think about this picture. For anybody that doesn't know, this was the day Braniff shut down. So as a result, they just parked all their 727s here at DFW. So you see them all at the gates right here. And then they have all these 727s. And it's just so cool to see all the colors put together. Very sad, of course. You can see the 747s that are SP in like a 100. But you can see over here how sad it was to see all of these just lined up. Very unfortunate times. And this was at 2W at the time, which is now Terminal B. So crazy, but what can you do? It's just how it happens. So there we go. Here's a nice wide angle shot you can see right here of all these aircraft. This one also looks really good. I like the eagle on this tail here, so these look really cool. And then a blurry shot, so we'll just go ahead and pass that. Here's a XOX5 engine, which is really cool. I love these engine exhibits and hope to see more interactive ones in the future, which I'm sure I have. Just been in many museums at this point, so it's tough to remember. This was very cool. This was a live ATC and ADS-B station that they had at the museum. So you can see here with the Southwest aircraft that were live. It also looks like a NetJets aircraft is over there on runway 13 left. So that was really cool. So overall, really awesome to assess all these, and that's really cool. So very nice right there. And then they have an overlook of Love Field on the second level, which is really cool. So you can see we're looking out to the airport from the northeast, looking towards the southwest. So you can see here even a Canyon Blue 700, which is quite cool, along with some hard aircraft. So that was quite nice right there. And then they have a really cool airport from the 1960s diorama right here. So nice and simple. Looks like it's handmade, which is really cool. So you can see the original Love Field concourse, and then all these DC aircrafts with 4s, 6s, and 3s. American Airlines has two offerings right here. I don't know if these are 1-500s, 1-400s. They look like 500s to me. I can't confirm, but nevertheless looks good. This is probably a hotel and the cars. All this looks really cool, and they did a good job. And notice how small the terminal is from walking inside to getting on your plane. Here's a really cool satellite image of Love Field from 57. It says 57 there. This looks a little bit newer than that. Maybe sometime in the 70s. I'm not exactly sure, but this is a really cool illustration here. So the runway designs always stayed the same. But of course, they at some point, I think they made this the main facility. I don't know if they expanded, they just demolished that and then made it here, or if they came out and extended it. They may have came out some, but anyways, it does look really good. You got some really cool aircraft there too, so that's really nice. You got a Dallas advertisement there. It says 1957, so maybe that's when it was. I don't know, but anyway, looking good. How about a Virgin America Airbus E320 model right here? This is really cool to take a look at here, so that's really awesome to see them preserve that. Virgin America, of course, did fly the Love Field for quite some time, so very important to represent them here in the museum, and some really cool historical images along with some really cool models as well, so good job on their behalf. Another cool outlook shot here of all these aircraft. This one's also really cool right there, and then you can see this outlook down here with all the various aircraft here too, so that looks really good. So still plenty of room to expand over here as well. So really cool frames right there. Let's go ahead and get into our next round.
So freaking cool. Look at this. Just, can you say anything more? I mean, this is just astounding. The most packed museum I think I may have ever seen, and I did not even have expectations of this. And then all these signs. Braniff. What a fleet. Nothing damaged either for this many planes. Thoroughly impressive. Wow. And an American DC-3 changing it up a little bit. Oh my gosh. Wowzers. And the other half. The amount of time that it takes to do this is unbelievable. Huge thing. And we're missing a couple. Did they get sold? Are they selling for the number that's on them? And some really nice ones down the line. Very cool. Love these. Completely unbelievable. Awesome. Haven't even decided if I want to make this raw video or narrate it. I mean, like how this is more of a broad consumption type overload right now. And how do you even do this? Goodness, so cool. Small details, helmets, uniforms, watches, patches. Just so cool. I mean, I probably won't even commentate. I know I was a little quiet to start, but let's just, oh my gosh. Take it in for yourself and you tell me what you think. I mean, like, vintage. So much variety. General aviation, military, Southwest. Look at all these details. Oh gosh, the tires are flat. It's been setting too hard for too long. It's greater than 1 year tanker. How do you even do this full museum? Like, goodness. Walking's just not going to be very good right now. This is amazing. This is more of a one than Sierra Smith, like double and triple. And there's planes taking off outside. Doing 5 out of 5. Maybe some more. So cool. A little bit of everything aeronautics related, not just planes. That's a beautiful F5 or T-38, whichever one it is. Something along those lines. Well, I'm definitely gonna have to come back. There's a nice broad military scope. And hopefully I'm going into detail enough. Like I said, feel free to pause to look at any details on these boards. It's just, I mean, you've probably all seen how much writing there is, how to even process all this. Look at all these die-cast models right here. Goodness, the amount of precision. Sorry for going kind of fast. Goodness gracious. My gosh, yes. Yes and yes. Helicopters. The amount of precision, look, it's just right overhead. Must come and see. Yes, B-52. The amount of precision, goodness, you can spend all day. All day. It literally does not end. This is awesome. And you got even full paragraphs. Like, goodness. This is awesome. You need a full day here to really get the precision. More expansions. Need to sell them. Never seen something quite like that. Here's the front side of that really cool P-22. Didn't even know what it was till now, so great to learn. Gotta watch my phone storage. Hollow, yes. Here's some space. Like Hollow 7, particularly. I guess they laid like that. And look at all those dials on top. Very cool. Here's the full Hollow 7. More Hollow details. Full scope of this place with how much there is, and that's a good, really good thing, to be honest, because it makes you want to come back. Fun. Oh my gosh, it's really cool. Bus room. It's so cool. Oh my gosh. This is oh, is this Wipers? Yes. Just thinking about this in aviation history, how they had a shop like this. This is a really good little mini version of this, so I don't even have to go to Cushing, North Carolina now, I guess. Just kidding, of course, but learned all about this. Learned all about this. These Southwest seats gonna have to buy some for free. A little hut where they made all this possible. What an incredible invention. And I don't even know how to say it better. This is really one of a kind. And yes, plenty of balloon ideas in the Europe regions. Little sneak in area here, it looks like. Oh my gosh. I snuck in there. Plenty of balloon. Oh, is this, are these airships? Yeah, this is airships. Very cool. The graphs, definitely. I'm learning about all of these in pretty decent detail. Airships were predominant movements for a long time. Also, as I said, please, by all means, feel free to pause. This is very, very, very detailed, and hopefully my camera's good enough to pick it up so everybody can read it. Hot air balloon. Would love to go on one of these sometimes. We only got 3 instruments. It's the intention to be able to touch them. And the burner. More Southwest planes sticking off outside. You can hear it. It's beautiful F-18 Blue Angel. Excited to see these. The real one soon. But this is a very good start. Your all-rounded military aircraft fighter. Might have to do a second video here, maybe more in-depth one at some point. 2100. Frontier. The commercial is going to be very good. Just like the rest. A little bit of damage, but what can you expect on something like this? Goodness gracious. We have some afterburners here. Want to get the full angle, yes. Very cool. Unbelievable. Does it ever end? It's so good. You need a full day if you really want to process and take it all in. And this is only half. The other half is not quite as thorough, which may be for the best, but that's because of how much there is. Thank gosh for wide angles as well nowadays. Those are really helpful. Very cool. Oh man. You could pay some big money for this. I don't even need to explain myself. This is the full aviation scope, especially military orientated, but all of you passenger airplanes too. I'm assuming less detailed because, well, detailed first off, but compared to the rest of it, less detailed just because of how much civil aviation is going on. I mean, a really nice scope of smaller biz jets predominantly, but also some props as well. This is a really nice cabinet with some various airplanes. This is a very nice broad scope. I really like this with Braniff, FedEx, and F-22. DC, what would that be? I'm trying to think of that off the top of my head. JSX making the points. American Airlines, SWA. Really great detail here. Moving more. Is this DFW stuff? Yes. Here's Dallas. Here's the current sectional. I believe this is probably original sectional. It's current sectional. We are currently here. Sorry. Current sectional, old, current. You tell me what you think. Unbelievably awesome. Top notch. I don't want to be too loud, but I'm mentally kind of freaking out. Just look. More to come in. Feel free to pause, or just get back and pause on something if you want to see it more in detail, because I unfortunately don't think that one could get a full scope if you didn't, in terms of your favorite airplanes and everything, because your favorite plane probably is at this museum, or favorite airline for that matter. And we're still building too. And a Delta ND11 in the widget colors. And a love filled then and now comparison. Oh, man. An I-287 portion of this cockpit. And a JAL 747 with interior look. 343. Oh gosh. That would be a living. Staircase. Nice gap here for the L2 door. A 1-door gap sitting in front of the nose. Cockpit, look at all that room. The amount of detail in this museum is just unbelievable. Reset button. Bit of military detail. Man, soft love seats everywhere. Feel free to see to take a break if you need to. Goodness gracious. My gosh, yes. Can I play a video here? That's good. Oh, there we go. Sorry for kind of missing this one. This one's really good. Like the whole darn museum. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Can you believe this museum?
Alrighty everyone, so here we go into our next session. A really cool shot of this aircraft right here. I love the design and the wings folding up. That's really cool, so glad to see that. Then we have this really cool overlook once again. Again, they have so much room still to expand, which is crazy, but certainly really excited to see that as well. Over here, looking over the Braniff area is really cool, so great to see all those various exhibits along with these posters on the sides here as well. Here's a selfie with the Braniff 747, so that's quite nice. Then you can see right here, more various aircraft throughout. There's so many, so it's really cool to see it from this perspective and then get the leveling right if I do use that as a thumbnail, which we'll see. You can see here a really cool aircraft as well. Love the silver on it, so that's quite nice. And the cockpit of this aircraft, which is really cool. So sorry, I should have did a better job taking pictures of signs. I'll be sure to do that in the future. Really cool missile of sorts, I think. I'm not exactly sure, but that looks pretty cool. Vietnam, Southeast Asia, 1955-1973 area over here. So you can see that with these various aircraft. Really cool assortment of models. It's got B-52, B-29, among others. So it's really cool to take a look at all of these. Here's a really cool DC-3 exhibit. You got some really great detail on this with the people. If they would have had a little bit more on the ground here, well, I guess this maybe is what they're going for with the ground, if it's actually concrete. So it all looks really good, though. Maybe just a little bit of wear maybe would have made it just a little bit more aesthetic, but perhaps that was the exact look they're going for. So won't criticize that too much. This aircraft's really unique. I don't know what it's called, but probably the most unique one here. I don't think you'll see this every day for sure. So that's really cool to take a look at. Along with this aircraft, once again, is it some sort of Piper maybe? I think. I'm not exactly sure, but that looks good right there. Here's a nice outlook here on the rest of the aircraft on the ceiling and all this room they still have to expand, and these really cool inside wood exhibits, so that's really cool to take a look at and how they made the planes way back when. Here's the back shot of this aircraft, looking very good. Blue Angel on the ground. This is really cool, and I love the Blue Angels, so certainly glad to get to see that. And a little nice close and backup shot, even though they were blurry. This is a really cool angle right here. I'm very glad that I took this one. iPhone did a really good job on some of these. So this one here is certainly S tier to say the least. And that one's also really good right there. Here's a really cool T-18, very unique aircraft. The wing design plus the fuselage, you're not going to see that very often. So that's really cool. This overhanging one is also fantastic as well. Then we have a really cool Frontiers of Flight Museum with all the various components of flight, which is really cool on it. So that's very unique, so very cool to see that. The T-18 right there, a nice assortment of models right here with mainly general aviation offerings, but of course you see some I think they're all GA offerings that are, you know, hybrid aircraft. So there's like a what was the one I was looking at? There was the 135 back here that's probably actually a legacy. So overall, really cool to get to see all those right there. And here's a nice assortment. We got this FedEx Falcon, FedEx DC-10, Braniff International Electra, I believe, or DC-6 or some aircraft like that. The Braniff C-5, really neat, along with these two. And why can't I think of that airplane's name? Is that a DC? No. I wish I knew it off the top of my head. I should. There's no excuse. But anyways, that looks really cool. And here's this one with more aircraft exhibits. The video did a better job, so I'm trying to stabilize that phone going forward. I think the pictures turn out better going forward. Enola Gay looking really cool with this exhibit over here, so that's really nice to get to see it right there. You got the Spitfire and all those as well, so that's really nice. Really cool aircraft right here, looking very good. This is a, I should have no excuse to not know this. But of course, B-17, that's it. So it's one of the Bs. I just don't want to screw it up. So glad that I was able to get bailed out by the sign right there. So this looks really good right there. A really cool aircraft here in the middle. That's quite nice. And the gift shop is really cool. They do have models in here, but pretty much the gist of it includes all these other various toys and shirts, and they do have some models. Did I get a picture? I did not, but it was like a couple of Southwest Skymarks. They were a little overpriced, but certainly nice that they're still selling some sort of, not diecast, but actual, you know, model aircraft. So that's really cool. The sign outside, the helicopter on top, and then we have the Southwest 737 to finish it off once again. So I really hope you all enjoyed this video. It's a really cool museum. I really enjoyed checking it out, and I really hope all of you enjoyed coming along for the journey. I'm really excited to return at some point. There's so many signs and so much to take in, and I'm sure it's going to change quite a bit when I come back next time. So if you all would like to see a follow-up video when that happens, feel free to let me know. But I can't recommend it enough. 11 out of 10. It's a fantastic venue, and if you ever are in the Dallas-Love area or want to come in and check it out, it is certainly worth your time, and the mission was really fair, so I can't recommend it enough. Definitely check it out and support an awesome museum. So with all that being said, everybody, that'll do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. My name's Redriveraviation. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name's Redriveraviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.